AgriPac announces additional endorsements ahead of the November general election. Michigan Farm Bureau's second Farmer After Hours series is underway. And one thing COVID-19 couldn't stop? Field crops research at MSU's plant pathology farm. I'm Janelle Brose, and this is Farm News 5.
Farm News 5 is brought to you by Ford.
Michigan Farm Bureau is kicking off a new Farmers After Hours video series. Farmers After Hours was created and designed to address mental health and farm stress challenges facing farmers today. This latest series tackles one of the top causes of farm stress: money.
Continue to meet member needs with the second iteration of the series, focusing on financial fundamentals and profitability. This time of year, it's hard to believe as we head into harvest, depending on what segment of agriculture you're involved in, a lot of folks are making input decisions and having huge financial conversations this time of year. So for folks who may be new beginning or experienced farmers, in light of the challenges that 2020 and the last several years have presented, both from an ag economy standpoint and with COVID-19 having an impact, we really hope that this provides some support, or at least some connectivity, some feeling of you're not alone in these challenges, but also can help folks connect to peers with similar experiences, maybe some creative ideas, and then experts that, whether they're the right fit, if they're not the right fit for those conversations or assistance, then they can couple you with someone who would be more appropriate. So we're excited to delve into this subject matter and hope to have as much receptivity.
We're not asking them to take this huge step off into left field, but start to bring up those conversations just a normal everyday.
So our live farmer panel kicked off on Wednesday, September 16th at 7 p.m. That recording should be available shortly. But the next 6 weeks, we'll delve deeper with 15 to 20-minute mini sessions covering understanding your balance sheet, first and foremost, transitioning to preparing for tax season, then best accounting practices, innovative revenue sources, learning the lending process, and then wrapping those sessions with transitional and estate planning, truly hoping to set a good foundation for folks. So Michigan Farm Bureau's Facebook page is where we've been sort of premiering each of these mini session videos, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And if you visit our YouTube site for Michigan Farm Bureau, there's a whole channel related to farm stress where folks can access these resources. Also, in our publications like My Farm News and FarmGate, we have covered the first iteration of the series surrounding farm stress and mental health with a wrap-up article. That article includes links to each of the individual videos as well as the series in its entirety. The same will be occurring for our next fundamental financial and profitability focused series. We'll continue to share and update folks through our Farm Bureau publications, and then all of the videos will be live on that Farmers After Hours YouTube channel.
Up next, MSU's Martin Chilvers talks field crops research at MSU.
There's torque. Then there's 1,050 pound-feet of available best-in-class torque. There's towing. Then there's up to 37,000 pounds of available best-in-class towing. There's backing up a trailer. Then there's backing up with available class-exclusive Pro Trailer Backup Assist. In other words, there are trucks, and then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
While the COVID-19 pandemic has limited face-to-face gatherings and forced field days to go virtual, field crops research at Michigan State University's plant pathology farm continued over the summer.
I think we were somewhat fortunate during this whole COVID thing that our lab was shut down, and we had people work from home, and that was fine for a lot of students, a lot of data to crunch and whatnot. But we were fortunate to keep the field program going, which is really important. If we miss a season, now we're a whole year behind on that research. It's not stuff that we can just put in the freezer and then pull back out when we're ready to go. So very thankful we're able to continue that work.
And that includes monitoring diseases that aren't yet an issue in Michigan, like frog eye leaf spot. The disease has caused problems in other Midwestern states in soybeans, so research is already underway to determine which modes of action provide the best control.
So we have frog eye leaf spot out here in this field. We've actually inoculated it with the pathogen. It's naturally occurring, but we've grown it in the lab and put some out here as well just to push pressure. And we've got a pivot out here as well that we've been running pretty frequently to help push leaf moisture and push disease. We're screening a number of different fungicides for their efficacy to control frog eye leaf spot here. One of the things that's happened recently too, just like in sugar beets, is that this particular Cercospora species is now resistant to the strobilurin or QOI mode of action fungicides. So that's a really big concern, right? Starting to lose fungicide efficacy for some particular mode of action products. So we're keeping an eye on that as well, screening products and see how they do for control of frog eye.
Chilvers says there are some soybean varieties that are more resistant to frog eye than others, which may become more important in the future if we begin to see more of the disease in the state. Meanwhile, in the plant pathology farm's dry bean plot, the focus is on researching root rot resistance.
We're looking at commercial seed treatments and how they're performing to manage some of the root rots. And then we're screening varieties too. So working with the dry bean breeders to try and figure out, how susceptible or resistant are some of the different lines that they're working with. Can they do a better job at breeding for root rot resistance? And then the other part we're looking at too is just trying to understand that root rot complex a bit more. It's difficult working with soil-borne diseases, much harder than foliar diseases. Foliar diseases, we can see what's going on, and I could train you pretty easily to come through and identify what's going on, right? But with soil-borne diseases, very often we have to take things back to the lab, dissect them, isolate to confirm what's going on. And with dry beans, we've got different things like Pythium species, Fusarium species, and Rhizoctonia as well that can do damage and cause root rot. So we're trying to understand that by inoculating with specific pathogens here and seeing how they impact yield and stand. And then, as I said, trying to manage that either through resistance or fungicide seed treatments.
Coming up, AgriPac announces additional endorsements ahead of the November 3rd general election.
Planning for 2019 and beyond, Foster Swift's Ag Law team offers comprehensive legal counsel for farmers and businesses.
AgriPac, Michigan Farm Bureau's nonpartisan political action committee, has announced additions to its Friends of Agriculture endorsements for the November 3rd general election. The additional recommendations include 2 Michigan Supreme Court candidates, 2 Michigan State University Board of Trustees candidates, and several more candidates in the U.S. House and Michigan House races. A complete list of AgriPac endorsements can be found at michfb.com. For more news and video, visit MichiganFarmNews.com or the Michigan Farm Bureau channel on YouTube. With Farm News 5, I'm Janelle Brose. Have a great week of farming.